Guys, welcome to the world debut of the all-new 2022 Kia Carnival.
That's right, guys. This is a brand new van. Sorry, I called it a van.
It's not a van.
Don't call it a minivan. They call it an MPV, multi-purpose vehicle, and it is replacing the Kia Sedona in the lineup. And this is a vehicle that has new styling, a new interior, new powertrain.
Yeah, so let's just hit it from what it is, the styling, like you said, and the powertrain. When is it going to be available? All of that stuff.
Okay, so let's start right off with the fact that it was first revealed in South Korea last year. So now it's here, and the Kia Sedona, the vehicle it replaces, has been in our U.S. lineup since 2002. This vehicle will compete against the Chrysler Pacifica, the Toyota Sienna, the Honda Odyssey, but once again, they're not going to call it an MPV. Don't call it an MPV. Don't call it a minivan. Call it an MPV, a multi-purpose vehicle. This plays on their new, fresh SUV-like styling, which we do agree. It does actually look a little bit like an SUV. And they call it a multifaceted and unexpected companion. That's exactly what I see here. Multifaceted and unexpected companion. Okay, so they got to work on the way they frame that for the U.S. audience. But the point is that this is a significantly upgraded vehicle.
Yeah, and specifically, it looks new. If you look at it in a profile, right? It still is kind of a full-size vehicle. And it has, 3 rows of seats. Mm-hmm. It has sliding doors on both sides. And it has very unique styling, as you can see. Brand new grille, and also a brand new badge. Is that even possible?
Yeah, actually, this is the first vehicle from Kia to debut that new badge, which is sort of their new logo, which looks a lot like the Nine Inch Nails logo, by the way. And the good news here for those of you who are curious about where this vehicle was designed, it was designed in California, but it's being built in South Korea. Now, Kia only assembles the Telluride, the Sorento, and the K5 in the U.S.
Yeah, so should we keep moving a little bit and look on the inside? Or where should we go?
Let's talk about the styling real quick, because the old Sedona was a kind of a boxier looking vehicle. This one is a lot more SUV-like, like we covered. But what they call this vehicle with the nose, they call that the tiger nose. Okay? I guess maybe a tiger nose, maybe?
Well,
the head, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think what that means, to me at least, it has a brand new LED signature, right? Mm-hmm. Really cool lights, and a very kind of three-dimensional grille. But it still resembles a Kia. So if you saw it from, a block away, I think you would recognize it as a Kia, in fact.
I do get what they're coming from in terms of the design looking more like an SUV, and it does look more like an SUV, but basically it is a large box, which means it's built to hold people. So all the design, including the new LED taillights that run the width of the entire vehicle, all of that is done to make this vehicle look a lot more masculine, or maybe a little bit more aggressive, perhaps. But the real story is the interior.
Right, because it's multi-purpose.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, so here's some of the stats. 168.2 cubic feet of passenger space.
Which is best in class.
Yeah, and 145.1 cubic feet of cargo space with the rear 2 rows of seats folded completely. And that's 3.1 cubic feet more than the previous Sedona that this replaces.
Right.
And it also, I just looked this up, the new Chevy Tahoe has less interior cargo volume than this.
That's right.
So that's how big this thing is.
Which is pretty impressive. Now up front, the Carnival gets a standard 8-inch infotainment display. It has wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto support, and available wireless smartphone charging, and a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster.
And dude, I recently was in a Kia K5 and the new Sorento, actually. And I think they're using some of the same styling techniques and kind of technology in this.
It certainly looks like that.
And it looks really sharp. I think, they're getting the design and the technology actually spot on.
There is a little bit more going on. So the up front, you do have up to 9 USB ports, and that's across all 3 rows of the vehicles, I should say. And 2 110-volt power inverters. I mean, that's like a house. Standard hands-free power sliding doors. Hands-free power liftgate with mid-range EX and higher trims. There's a PA system, passenger talk basically, so you can yell at your children who are in the back or in-laws. Passenger voice recognition lets the second row passenger control numerous in-vehicle functions. That's according to Kia. And that's through voice commands using ceiling-mounted buttons. So that's insane. I really don't want my kids using that, to be honest with you. And then finally, there's the rear occupant alert and rear passenger view camera, which are also available on the EX and higher trims.
And it also has a sunroof. It has digital screens throughout, so you can play videos and do all that stuff, of course. And also different seating arrangements.
That's
right?
the big story.
Yeah.
So there are a variety of different types of seating arrangements. They call it the slide flex seating on the 8-passenger model, and that offers a sliding center seat for the second row. Right? So this slides forward to be closer to the front seat. So if you have a baby seat there, you slide it closer. You can reach back and pick up a bottle and help the kid. But it also can be converted into a table. Now, obviously, it takes that seat away, but it also makes a table. So suddenly you have a 7-passenger van with a table.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And maximum 8 people, right?
Right.
8-person. And also reclining option?
Yes, that's the VIP lounge seating, which is also available. It's heated and ventilated with wing-out headrests and leg extensions, and that's only available on the 7-passenger model, which makes sense because they're probably a lot larger.
Yeah, and this is kind of similar to some competitors, right?
Right.
Toyota does something similar, and of course Honda is there. And Chrysler with different solutions, right, for these seats.
That is correct. Now, the second row seats are removable, and you can fold down the third row seat completely flat, which gives you your maximum cargo capacity.
Yes, but with all this capacity, what's powering this beast?
So here we go. Now, there is one powertrain available, which is their 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 that puts out 290 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. It's hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, according to Kia, it's best in class with horsepower, which means it puts out 3 more horsepower than the Chrysler Pacifica, and 10 more horsepower than the Honda Odyssey, and 45 more horsepower over the Sienna, which is actually pretty impressive. And it can tow up to 3,500 pounds.
And I'm sure I can put it on the iGauntlet, right, and actually test it.
That would be a hell of an idea, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but Kia has been very successsul with their V6 engines.
Yes, they have.
Right, especially in these bigger vehicles. One of my friends has an older Sedona, and he used it every day for years, maybe a decade, and it's been a pretty solid vehicle.
Yeah, I actually know someone who has a Sedona with about 250,000 miles on it. They still keep it as a third car. So I'm not saying it's the best out there, but it certainly is a solid MPV choice.
Yes, multi-purpose.
Should we talk about technology?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay, so there are 12 standard advanced driver assistant features for the new Carnival. That includes forward collision avoidance alert, blind spot avoidance assist, rear cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, park distance warning, high beam assist, and driver's attention warning. And this is standard on the vehicle.
Yeah, I think to be competitive, you gotta have a lot of these technologies, driver assistance technologies.
Right.
Also cameras, right? All kinds of views, and that's very valuable for navigating tight spaces.
Indeed it is.
And shopping areas.
That is correct. Now, there are other options which include the highway drive assist, which will automatically adjust the speed and back off the speed limit information on the navigation system. So basically, whatever it sees on the navigation system, it'll automatically adjust your speed. Blind spot view monitor, which projects the camera image of adjacent lanes when you put the turn signal on. And we've seen this before in the K900 to Telluride and the Sorento, so you can actually get a crystal clear image in your front IP, which is pretty cool, and they're the only ones who do it that way. The surround view monitor, 360-degree camera, which helps with parking, and park collision avoidance assist, which keeps the car from hitting a pedestrian or other obstacles when backing up, which does help in a van with a really high window.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's a big vehicle.
It is indeed.
Yeah. And it's going to be available in 4 trims, right? LX, ES, SX, and SX Prestige. That's kind of a mouthful.
Yes,
to
it
say.
is.
But pricing, dude, it's not available yet. We don't know how much it costs.
We don't have the pricing, nor do we have the EPA numbers on this vehicle yet.
But we do know when it's available.
Yes?
Yes, in a couple of months, it says second quarter of this year, you'll be able to run out and get one.
That's right. Now, for those of you who are curious, overseas in Korea, they do have a longer version, and in fact, I believe they even have a diesel version, neither of which will make it to these shores.
And also, you won't be able to put like 11 people in this one.
No.
But just 8.
Yeah, just 8, and that's the maximum. So guys, we hope you're looking forward to the carnival like we are. I am getting my beads ready for when this vehicle has its debut. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
You guys don't need that mental image. But we're looking forward to getting our hands on this new MPV, because we're not calling it a minivan.
Heck yeah, and all of this information is also at TFLcar.com because Zach's been working really hard. He's the managing editor, and all of that stuff, all the information is there.
See you guys.